Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Hazzed, and today we're going to be doing a DK, and we're going to be doing some other classes. As we're on fire. We're on fire, Gordon! Alright, we're going to be doing some other classes too that are going to be a little bit bonus at the end because I dueled a lot of people today. I was only intending on dueling, the classes I was going to record, but people just kept throwing duels at me and throwing duels at me, so I figured why the heck not, so let's do this. Go over the basic strat for how to go about fighting another DK, since a lot happens, a lot more happens than you can actually explain at one point in time. So how do I start the duel, or how do you want to start the duel? Basically, I start off by chaining the other DK and staying at range and building my change, which is also building my necrotic plague. And a lot of DKs, this catches off guard because most DKs just come in hot. Now, if you stack up chains at range and get your runic power, you're at a huge disadvantage for when you guys actually meet or when he decides to actually grip you. Because mainly a DK will chains you once or twice back, but they won't build that runic power up. So once you come into contact, you're going to drop a couple plague strikes and you're going to get that frost strike hit. And you're going to come in hot. This is where you're actually going to go for the burst. When you get that first frost strike, you're going to drop your full burst, go for that frost strike damage, and just go ham on him and lay in just pure howling blast / frost strikes, which is going to eat through that person. And once they hit about 50% health, so when you're going to throw in your silence and you're going to go for kill, toss in a soul reaper and just go for kill. And also use empowered rune weapon right around when you silence, which is really going to help you push through to that kill and global DKs, which most duels it works out like that. Generally, some people can get out of it and whatnot. But as for that, if they do, the kind of rotation, you can't have just healing or just DPS fighting another DK. Now, if the DPS just grips you in the beginning, start death striking a bit until you get that first proc, and then just build up runic power with those plague strikes. It just you kind of just build up like that and make sure you get necrotic plague up and then burst and go hand on them and do the same thing. AMS right before you're about to burst, throw that in hard, go in with your burst, throw the silence in again at about 50% and go for the global again. It's really just about the strat for dual wield. Now let's say a DK sits blood presence and your frost presence. It's going to be a lot harder. It's going to feel a lot harder. But the one thing that most DKs don't anticipate when playing dual wield, if they go blood presence against you guys, basically what you're going to have to do is just DPS his face off and force him to stay defensive. Now you're going to have to use death strikes also and heal up. Don't think you're playing full offensive, guys. You still need to self heal a bit. You need to throw in a regular rotation here and there, get in them big frost strikes, and then throw in a couple death strikes here and there. And if you're at range or something, throw in siphons. You need to be on key with switching between those when dueling another DK, because all that stuff's going to matter when dueling another DK with how they pressure you and how you're pressuring them. It can definitely come down to just simple rotation or how fast you switch between healing and DPS right there. Also you got to make sure you're laying in like your plague leeches into siphons, which will really boost your healing when fighting any class, but definitely against another DK do you want to do that. But yeah, that's about it for approaching a DK. Should you use blood presence? If the duel gets elongated past like 30 seconds or so, and CDs are down, you both pass CDs, nothing's going well, he's sitting blood presence, you're sitting frost presence, and for some reason he might have more gear or something and you can't tick him over, you might need to go blood presence to get health, but then just save up your runic power. Also, you want to be using the glyph that makes it so you can switch presences during the duel, because that's going to make it really easy when fighting like ferals or whatnot, so you can build up runic power for burst and then switch into frost presence and then burst on them really hard, which is going to give you a big edge if they're not able to switch presences, guys. So keep that stuff in mind. That's about it for it. If you're using stun, of course, you get out of stuns with IBF, Desecrated Ground. You'll find with the silence, you'll be able to sneak a lot more kills in because most DKs aren't expecting the silence and they aren't expecting it to be that effective, but it really is if you time it correctly, guys. So let's jump into these duels. The first duel, I explained it pretty well. The second duel, everything went wrong. So I decided to throw that in for you guys to laugh, and then we'll jump into some random duels that I did today. So let's do this, guys. Alright, so here I'm going to teach the basic strat. Start out by chaining and building up a lot of runic power on the other DK. Now, why are we doing that? Now, since we came in close, we're going to save up and try to get a crit right there. We got a crit. We're going to go in for grip. Blowing cooldowns right there. We're going to get him to half health, AMS, silence him. And this is where we're going to go for kill, because within that silence, we can usually land kill pretty simply against another DK. Make sure you don't get CC'd out. Make sure you don't get ranged by him. Just stay in on the target. This is going to be when the offensive comes in really hard and good duel. DK, what you're going to do is start off with chains on another DK and hit him with a few Howling Blasts. See, what's going to happen here is basically we're going to stack our runic power up to full, and that's when we're going to go in on this guy really hard right here. Now, this is where I'm going to start in offensive. You notice he's doing the same thing I am? It's because he knows my strat. Now I'm in hard on him. I used a little glider there to close the gap. He's not going to be too happy about that one. Have not gotten any amazing procs yet to actually lay out some big damage, which kind of worries me. But what we're going to do is just keep in on him and heal up a little bit. Ooh, our keybinds are sticking there. That's okay. We're just going to stay in on him at this point. Going hard. Going hard. There we go. Now we can blow cooldowns. Going for the silence. You just want to get that silence off. Why isn't silence actually going off? It should have went off like 4 times there. It went off into AM. Whoa, it like DC'd for a minute there. We're back in the fight. We're going hard on him. Gonna put in a lot of pressure. That was not good. Had to D up there quite hard. And we're gonna AMS and just keep putting in pressure for the kill. Good duel.
Oh, you... I almost had that one. Ah, run away!
This guy's gotta be mad about that shit. The kiting was evil. Here comes the combat burst. I'm gonna pop some minor cooldowns while that's going off. Pew pew pew. Oop, there's some bursts. Good duel.
That's my shaman!
I think he's in hands. Is he? Yeah, he's in hands. They got some tricksy chitons. I will admit that. I'm gonna have to heal up with Lichborn here just subtly as I'm fighting him because he's gonna have a lot of survivability. I think he's actually trying to drive me down here to put in a lot of pressure. I'm gonna counterburst him here and just go ham on him. I think I can get kill. Alright, going up against Shadow Priest. Good duel.